Spooky season is a wonderful time of year. It's one of those times when we're allowed to openly pretend that magic is real for just a little while. And that's what makes it special. We can just sort of find it easier to imagine that something special could happen, something unexpected and strange, and doesn't always have to be spooky. Doesn't always have to be dark, I suppose, is what I really mean to say. But unfortunately, this next story is a pretty heavy and dark one. It's about a young married couple who find their first home for a very reasonable price in a very nice neighborhood. It's close to the shops, close to the city, it's even close to the elementary school. Just the sort of place where a family can begin. This tale is called The Red Crayon. So Charlie and Charlene. Oh, I can do better than that. Instead, let's call them Charlie and Michelle. Shortly after their honeymoon, they closed on their new home. They were very happy because it was so cheap, but there was nothing obviously wrong with it. Nothing was broken. It didn't take a lot of work to get it cleaned up and ready to move in. They hadn't had any children yet, but they could easily see themselves starting their family in this home. After they'd gotten settled and finished unpacking, one day Charlie was walking down the hall and he spotted a lone red crayon laying on the floor. He wondered how that crayon had been missed by the previous tenants or the movers or the cleaning crew or he or Michelle. And he thought out loud that it must have belonged to the previous residents, and he casually threw the crayon in the trash. The very next day, he stopped at home on his lunch break, and in the exact same spot, an identical red crayon. When he told Michelle about it, her face grew pale. She told him that every day since they first moved in, she had been finding red crayons, always in that same spot at the end of the hallway. Charlie was wondering about the weird phenomenon. He noticed something wasn't quite right. The hallway seemed shorter than it should be. So he walked to the wall and reached out and tapped, and it sounded hollow. So he knocked with his knuckles, and he was certain. Without thinking, he began tearing at the wallpaper. Michelle protested and told him to stop, but he was finding something behind that wallpaper. In fact, he revealed a pair of sliding doors. It was as if someone had carefully hidden the entrance to a small room or maybe a closet. As he looked closer, Charlie saw that the sliding doors had been nailed shut. He scrambled to find a hammer, and he began prying out the nails, one by one, while Michelle looked on, her hand covering her mouth, terrified of what they might find. After pulling out the final nail, Charlie slowly opened that sliding door, and there was a small hidden room. To get inside, Michelle and Charlie had to crawl on their knees. The walls inside were white, but all over them, scribbled in red crayon, "Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out. Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out. Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out." But that was all they found. Just that message in crayon on the walls. Michelle cried, and Charlie looked up at the ceiling, and all he could do was shake his head.